Hey guys, so today I'm looking at a video from Jake Mapping, and this one is called A History of the Slavs Every Year. So, yeah, I know that there are certain, I was doing some Googling before, I started recording this, very minimal, just quick glances and stuff, and that there are, several groups of, um people and nations and whatnot that identify as like Slavic peoples, and they're kind of around. So I'm really looking forward to this because it kind of reminds me of like the Turkish situation where um where I had thought it was kind of regulated to one area, like Turkey, Anatolia, and it ended up being a lot more widespread, from Asia and whatnot to Europe. And um so overall I'm really looking forward to seeing if I get that kind of same treatment from the Slavs, and hopefully learning what who are what groups, what nations and stuff fall under the Slavic banner. So, because I can't really tell you what the definition of Slav or Slavic is. I mean, I've heard it, but again, this is something I've never really done too much personal research into, like I did in with the Turkish or Turkic. Apparently, both are distinguished enough to be different, but you know what I mean. Point is, so yeah, I probably should get to it so I can finally understand exactly and learn about the Slavs or the Slavic people. It's Slavic, right? I don't know. But either way, if you want to watch the original video from Jake Mapping, it's Mapping? Okay, that was Mappings, but yeah, Jake Mapping. Um, the link to this video is down in the description down below. It is the first link and that you'll see. And yeah, if you want to help support my channel, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me out a lot, and I'd appreciate it very much. Now, with that said, and now without any further ado, let's get to it, my friends. Let us watch The History of the Slavs Every Year by Jake Mapping. Okay, it is estimated the first Proto-Slavs arrived in the European area around the late 5th to early 6th century, from their perceived and disputed homeland in Central. Oh, they came from Asia too? Well, Central Asia, but wow. If that's true, then that's interesting, because here I thought like the Turkish people were kind of like in Anatolia, which is a Asia, but like you know Asian, it's called Asian, but Asia Minor, but they came from, or let those groups, some of their origins came even further eastward. So to hear now that, I thought that, at least my head thought the Slavs were kind of like a European soul thing, but apparently coming from more eastward. Again, I just keep getting surprised. If that is true, I'm not sure. But if this video is to be believed, then that's very interesting. Okay, this was occurring during the migration period as the old Roman Empire was falling into turmoil. When wasn't it? And the tribes of the steppe were pushed out of their ancestral homelands. The Slavs settled in Eastern Europe in the north, south, west, and soon divided into different subgroups, starting the history of the Slavs. I do at least know that the Roman Empire, like especially in the Byzantine era, definitely battled like a lot of Slavs that, a group that they had to contend with were the Slavs, but I thought they may have been like more European bound, more, there. So this is already quite the revelation to me. Samo Empire. I've never heard of the Samo Empire. Huh. Seems to be situated in like Germany around. Yeah, like Serbia. Um, yeah, I always do. I was at least kind of aware, but I was kind of afraid to say it. But like, yeah, Serbia identified as Slavic, so like I said, there are groups that are fall under the banner of Slavic, and the only one I felt confident in, even though not too confident in, was saying like, yeah, Serbia's Slavic, right? But okay, I'm kind of sort of correct, maybe? I don't know, but yeah, like when we cover a lot of the Byzantine videos, the Serbs are usually around here, and I think they've been called Slavic, so again, it's interesting. So yeah, the Western Slavs were kind of the first around here to have an empire and thing. I can't read that kind of I don't know. But now the southern Slavs are rising right near the Balkans and stuff. Mm. The Bulgarians. That's interesting. Also because the Bulgarians were, when we look at those map videos, they were also under the banner of the Turkish, right? Like I'm pretty sure those map videos we saw in the past about the Turkish. No, wait. Wait, no, was it? Dang it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the then again, we did look at the History of Bulgaria map video. They did arrive eastward, and modern Bulgarians are cited to be several different groups, like the Thracians, and, you know, the nomadic travelers from more eastward. So there's a lot going on with the Bulgarians, but I didn't know they could also fall under the banner of Slavs. Okay. Sorry that I was surprised to see Bulgaria there. Already my mind's being blown at the moment. We're only a minute in. So the Russians, I guess, also would fall under the banner of Slav. You know, there was this funny like video back in the past. It was called like History. It's like a, what was it called? Dang it! It was about World War One, like a rap battle. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up. Yes. Okay, so this video is called "The Cause of World War One: Origins Rap Battle" by the BBC of all people, and there's one line where the Russians, Tsar Nicholas mentioned that they're gonna help the Serbians because they're Slavic brothers. So that's something that came up, but then again, I know that that video is kind of meant to be a little silly at times, so I don't want to cite that as like a all, definitive factor, but it kind of makes sense that they would say that now if Russia falls under the banner of Slavic. or the Slavs. I hope I'm using it right with Slavic, because some people say like there's a difference between Turkic and Turkish, so like I'm like worried sometimes if it's the same with Slavs or Slavic. So if there is a difference and I'm using it incorrectly, I apologize. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this topic at all. So I'm learning it as this video is playing. Ooh, Poland. Alright, Poland has arrived. Wow. Poland, Russia, Serbia? All under the idea of the Slav, huh? Interesting. What other groups can fall into that? Dang. My goodness. So yeah, so far in this video, I like we see this the three main groups as of right now, of the Slavic people, you know, being situated in Poland, the Rus, aka Russia, and obviously throughout the Balkans. Um, Dang, the southern Slavs are the ones that are the most like going through it. They're the ones constantly shifting in growth and shrinkage, growth shrinkage. Like yeah, the southern Slavs are fighting for their dear life right now. Meanwhile, yeah, like the most growth we've seen definitely is the east and the western Slavic groups. So yeah.
This may be
Yes, I assume the southern Slavs big disappearance is when the Ottomans took over, right? And then ended up having to be under the banner of the Ottoman Empire. So that's what I'm assuming is what happened to them there. And okay, so yeah, we're definitely gonna see that the Eastern Slavs are gonna be the biggest rise any moment now for sure. Oh. Oh crap. Yeah, like I said, as we know, yeah, Russia, quite the chunker of a nation. Yeah, and the partition of Poland, where basically the rest of Europe jumped Poland and just destroyed it. So yeah, we probably won't, but we do at least see that the Southern Slavs are slowly crawling out of the Ottoman trap, so we're definitely gonna see the nations soon emerge, right? Oh my goodness. Holy crap, a lot happened there. But yes, we have Serbia, and now we have... I can't read down there, but we have Poland, and now we have Russia. Alright, alright. So yeah, a lot of... Looking at the map, a lot of... Basically a lot of the Balkans is under the banner of Slavic. Mine is Greece. But yeah, Bulgaria, Serbia... Wow. Okay, so... Let's see. Slaw. Wait, dang it. Slavs. Okay, let's go back to good old Wikipedia. Okay, so much like the map video from Jake, Russia, Poland, and a lot of the Balkans fall under the banner of the Slavic people. And this is a big map of all the other places they inhabit. So wow. Okay. Slavic territories. Serbia. Okay. So I'm just looking because that I find that very interesting. And yeah. Overall that was really cool to see, like I said. I've heard a lot about, you know, the Slavs, but like finding out which groups that they were part of, which groups fall under the banner, and which countries and nations. Good to know now. So yeah, that was a really enlightening video. These map videos are always so enlightening to me. I always learn something new every time. You know, I always get to them. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video right here, but that was really interesting. And overall, yeah, another great video.